In this video, I want to review the LG soundbar that is the S40T. I'll share with you the pros and cons, the positive and the negative about this model. So let's start with the positive. What I liked is, although this is an affordable soundbar that can be had for under $150 US, you also get a subwoofer included, and this is a wireless subwoofer. Out of the box, the subwoofer is already paired with your soundbar, so it's very easy to set them up. And if you wondered, this subwoofer is rated at 35 watts. Now, another thing that I appreciate about this model is the fact that, well, let's look on the back. You have an HDMI connector if you prefer connecting it to your TV using HDMI. You have a USB port if you want to use a USB drive to listen to your music. So you just connect it over here and it will be able to read it. And finally, we have an optical cable in case you prefer connecting your soundbar to your TV using an optical cable. It also has Bluetooth, so if you don't want to use any cables to connect it to your TV, well, you can also do this as long as your TV has Bluetooth. And as we see over here, it's also DTS enabled and Dolby Audio. Since we're talking about the positive side, I also appreciate they have included a remote control in the box. And I like it because it's small. It's not one of those big remote controls with useless buttons. Over here we can select the inputs of the soundbar, connect Bluetooth devices, go into the settings. We have volume up and down. And over here these buttons, well, depending what you're using it for, you can connect. If you have connected, let's say, a USB drive, you can skip to the next song, play, pause, stuff like that. There's also an AI sound button, this one over here, which is supposed to enhance the sound. Well, in my opinion, it really depends on what you're listening to. Sometimes it works great, sometimes not. You have a movie mode, gaming mode. If you want the soundbar to adjust the sound, depending on what you're actually listening to. And if you don't want to use the remote, the soundbar itself also has a few buttons on the top. Not that many, as you see. You won't have access to the full features if you don't have the remote, but we have a power on and off, input selector, volume down, volume up, and a Bluetooth button. I'll do a sound test at the end of the video, by the way. Now let's talk about the negative side. One of them is the fact that there's no display on the soundbar. So let me turn it on. All you have is this over here. It's a series of 3 lights that when you, let's say I'm putting more volume or decreasing the volume, it's not saying much. You barely know what these lights means. And sometimes they blinking red, sometimes, you know, they have different ways of telling you things, but it's not very intuitive. For example, if it's the first time you're using it and you see 3 blinking red lights, well, you won't know right away what it means. So I would have loved to have a display over here like many other soundbars, but keep in mind this is a budget option, so I guess they have to cut the cost somewhere. Another thing that I wish this soundbar had is a 3.5 audio input. To be able to connect it to your TV using that input, but also if you have any other device like a CD player or, you know, anything else. Although I don't think many people would use it, it would have been nice if it had it. Another thing that I didn't like about this soundbar is I tried to connect it to my smartphone. So at first I downloaded the LG Soundbar app and I was able to connect it, as you see right over there. Unfortunately, the app then told me that it's not supported anymore and I need to download the LG Think app. Okay, great. I downloaded the LG Think app and added the soundbar. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to add it. I even checked many Reddit posts. Many people were complaining with the same model that they're not able to add it. So there's no way to connect this soundbar to a smartphone app. So if there's any update available in the future, well, it will be very hard to do it this way. Now let's talk about sound quality. For this, I'll plug a USB drive in the back. I'll put the subwoofer on the side like this and the mic right over here, and we'll do a sound test. So do I like the sound quality? In my opinion, yes. It's a huge upgrade comparing to, let's say, TV speakers, especially with a subwoofer, although it's not a very powerful one. As you may heard and seen, it's a 35 watts. I think it does a great job for, let's say, a small to medium-sized living room. If you have one of those large living rooms, well, I think you need another models. This will not be able to fill the room with sound. You'll have to crank it up, and I didn't do it, but if you crank this soundbar to the maximum, the sound will distort quite quickly. So I suggest using this model with sound from low to medium high, but never go to the last volume bars, because then I don't think it sounds great. But this criticism, it's true for most soundbars under $200, to be honest. On Best Buy website, it says that it's rated at 300 watts, this soundbar, but it's hard to believe that this is the reality. Again, for a medium-sized living room or small living room, this will be enough to give you a more immersive sound comparing to TV speakers. And since they give us this remote control, we are able to change the trebles and also the bass volume, which is great. So if you want more bass, you'll be able to add or subtract bass. And I bet most people will simply put the subwoofer, the bass, to the maximum. Since this is not a powerful subwoofer, again, to start with, by putting to the maximum, it actually sounds great. Overall, this is it. I hope my video was helpful. Please leave a like, but also a comment down below. Tell me if you agree with me or disagree on some points. Check my links in the description down below as well. I'll put links towards Amazon if you want to get a new soundbar. I don't know if this soundbar is still available on Amazon.com. If it's not available, I'll put links to other models that I personally recommend. Overall, this is it. Thanks for watching.